as we are back and just about ready to start this second half at Greg Mitchell Field with the Vikings leading the Cougars 1-0. The Vikings had that goal early on in the first half, and it was by Brianne Kinworthy. Little 50-50 ball up near the edge of the box. She out hustled Ramirez, the goaltender for the Cougars, and put it past her for the 1-0 lead. And it stayed that way until halftime, and clock has stopped, so just about ready as the Vikings are back on the field waiting for this second half to begin. As we're still waiting for the Cougars to take the field as they're just off your camera right here, still getting talked to by their head coach, John Klein. So he was down behind the goal for most of that half, talking to his team, and he's continued to do so. And now here come the Cougars out. As the Vikings will have the ball to start out this second half. As there's a whistle, we're on the way here at the second half at Greg Mitchell Field. As the Vikings have it down, trying to get it down into the Cougar end. Now movement back towards midfield, is trying to find some possession. Now trying to play it through, but it's taken away there by the Cougars, and not on that far side. Played in, trying to get to Ennis, but unable to do so as the ball will go out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. It seems like both teams have the same starting lineups for this second half as they did to start the game. Vikings dumped that one in, but Ramirez is right there to take that one. And Ramirez clears it out towards midfield. Flipped on, and the Cougars send it into the Viking territory. Knocked down there by Madison Dean, and she knocks it out of play. Be a Cougar throw-in. Cougars still have it deep in Viking territory, playing around with it. Vikings take that one away right there. Try to clear it out. Cougars right there to block that one. Now Ennis tries to head it in, gets it over to Martine. And back to Ennis, and she clears it away. Cougars clear it right back into the Viking end, about midfield. And Heeb sends it up to Ken Worley, the goal scorer for the Vikings in the first half. Little give and go there with Garcia and Heeb. Now Garcia tries to get it up to Ken Worley, but stolen there by the Cougars of Columbia College. And now Garcia with it again. Finds Clammers in the middle. Playing around with it, trying to find somebody, unable to, so she'll just play it right back to Plowman. And she'll send it over to Dean, trying to switch the fields. So we're just about 3 minutes gone here in this second half. Now the Cougars take that one away, and it will be a foul on the Vikings, so it will be a free kick just on their own end of midfield for the Cougars here. Seems like it has cooled off a little bit, and the wind has stopped, so it should be a lot easier to hear us now in the second half that you not have the wind blowing in the mics. And that one is cleared in, and Sanchez has it, and once again she'll just wait for the Cougars to come down before she picks it up. And now she'll clear it out right at the midfield stripe, but the Cougars will take that one away and put over on that far side. And that was then cleared out by La Fuente. Cougars throw this one in, and Dean has it, and she'll clear right out play. So the Cougars are just moving the ball down the field to keep throwing it in on that far sideline. 4.5 minutes gone now in this second half. Vikings still up 1-0. They clear this one, and Kenworthy on the run tries to send it farther up to Clammers, but just out of her reach. And Ramirez comes out of the box to make that save. She'll clear it up, and the Vikings will take this one at midfield and clear it right back in. Kenworthy gives it back to Hebe. Over Garcia, a little give and go back to Hebe. Looks and she finds Kenworthy down the sideline. Left foot sends it in, but blocked. They'll go out of play. Nice block there. I believe that was Perla Hernandez that got back and blocked that left-footed attempt by Kenworthy to center that one out of play. It'd be a corner kick for the Vikings, and I believe Kenworthy went over there to take this one. Sends this one in deep towards the box. Free ball there in the middle, but the Cougars are able to clear that one out. But they give it right to Hebe, and she'll send it right back into Kenworthy. Flake stays down. Cougars were wanting it. She sends it in and straight through to Ramirez, who makes the save. Ramirez now clears it up. Flipped on there by the Cougars, but right to the Vikings. And he tries to send it up to Clammers, but that one gets knocked away. Over towards the Cougars bench. They're able to keep that one in. And now the Cougars play it back and send it forward. Gave it a run to Sandra Madonica, but she gets called for the foul as she pushed, I believe it was Plowman. So the Vikings have this free kick in their own end with about 38 minutes remaining in this one. Because we'll have the men's match between Columbia College and Missouri Valley after this second half of the women's game is over with. Tavin now, he trying to give a chase on this near sideline, unable to keep that one in. So it'll be another Cougar throw-in. Not many chances here in the second half, but all the chances have gone to the Vikings. He throws this one in. It gets knocked back to the Viking D, and they keep it on this near side for the time being. And now it looks like he's going to try to switch fields as Dean will send it all the way across over to Ennis. She gets a little room, tries to send it into the middle. Knocked away, but right to Garcia. She puts it in, but a nice save coming over towards the near post was Ramirez to keep that one out. It's a nice strike from about 30 yards out by Garcia. Low on the corner, or on the post rather. There had to be saved by Ramirez. Now the Cougars have it at midfield. A little bit of footwork to get up space, and I'll send it off to that far side. They send it in now. And now they send it in the middle, but Sanchez will come off her line and take this one. Most of the players from the Cougars men's side have come out, and they are probably about ready to stretch out and get ready for their game. Vikings seem to still be in the locker room getting ready for it. And that's going to be a foul on the Cougars, as it looked like. I mean, it was Kenworthy rather, was pushed down. As the ref will now mark down 10 yards back to give Andrea Garcia that room to send this one in. Garcia sends it in, tries to head on towards that far post. As that one got punched away by Garcia. Foul was called as a couple Vikings went in there hard and collided with her, but Ramirez rather said she's all right. Now the Vikings have it up on that far sideline, but taken away, and Ennis is giving chase, and now Clammers. Clammers takes that one away. She's got Kenworthy going up towards the middle. Sends it back. Great shot there. As that looked like to be Lais Pazzini. Comes in late in the middle, and Clammers found her, and Pazzini put that one away for the 2-0 lead for the Vikings. Just under 10 minutes gone in this second half, and the Vikings have taken a 2-0 lead on Columbia College. Great work there as Clammers just hustles in, takes that one away, and then finds Pazzini in the middle, who puts it away. As that was Pazzini's first goal of the season, as that will be her first goal of her Viking career. She is a freshman out of Brazil. And now Ennis on that far side, try to get room, but it gets knocked off of her foot. That one will go out of play. And now it looked like the clock never started running again after that goal. And now the clock is running as they're trying to get it down. Now they set it at 34 minutes remaining in this one. So we are back to action after getting that clock figured out. And now Garcia takes it away. She shoots it from long range and puts it just wide. Another good opportunity there by Garcia, who's taken quite a few shots from well outside the box, and they are coming very close to going on net. And now the Vikings have it at midfield. Pizzini, the goal scorer just a few moments ago, gives it up to Clammers and finds Garcia. Right back to Pizzini and finds Ennis now. Little footwork trying to get room. Pizzini from well outside and puts it just over the crossbar. Just had a goal and almost had a second one as that one just goes over the crossbar there by Lise Pizzini. 2-0 Vikings as we are 32 and a half minutes remaining in this second half. And the Cougars try to clear this one out. And then they'll send it back to their D and work it up that far sideline. They send it deep, giving chase there, but Dean, nice hustle on that far side by the Viking defense, Madison Dean. She knocks it out of play. And that might have been called a foul thrown as it was Cougars' throw, but then it got switched to Vikings. Vikings have they cleared far up. Glamour's giving chase. She's already shown her speed off in this second half, leading to a Viking goal. And now they try to find Kenworthy, who's got the first for the Vikings tonight. She'll set it up to Garcia. Finds room, gets to her right foot, sends it in the middle. But Ramirez comes off her line and makes the save. Cougars have this one now near midfield. Try to set it up. They've got room there. Clip over, but then it goes through their uprights. So just over the crossbar on that. Unable to see, but now the Cougars are going to bring 3 different players in. There's a Beischer, Diaz, and Carly Howe. Check in. So I believe it was Stephanie Hale that had that shot that just went over the crossbar for the Cougars moments ago. Now she comes out. Now the Cougars will have a free kick. Under 30 minutes remaining, and the Cougars are down by 2. They send this one in. Nice send in the box, but that one gets headed out of play by Mendonica, and it will be another goal kick for the Vikings. Sanchez clears that one out with her left foot, headed back in, but the Vikings head that one right away. Clammers flips that one on, but the Cougars able to take that one away. Now Mendonica sends it up. She's got room, but nicely played there by the Vikings, getting 2 players back and able to knock that one away. As it looked like that was Taylor Goddard. They used her speed to get up there, but nice play by 2 of the Viking defenders. And now Kenworthy tries to find Clammers up on that near side, but that one gets knocked away. Dennis throws that one in, but right to a Cougar, and she'll knock that one away. Ennis still fighting for it, and she will come away with it. And now we'll send it back to the D to switch fields. Nicely done there by Haley Ennis. And now Vikings have it deep in that corner. Trying to play with it, but that one will go out of play. Goal kick now for the Cougars. No, it was 10. I'm going to double check. I think that's what it was. There'll be another free kick now for the Cougars. This one on their end, their own side, and we are down to 27 minutes remaining. Vikings now have this one, trying to send it in towards Ennis. Moves over towards the middle, sends this one in. That's going to be a two-hopper right to Ramirez. Vikings now have this one going down the sideline. Trying to send this one in. Nice play there by the Cougars D to take that one away, but Vikings take it right back. Have a shot deflected down. Ennis trying to settle that one down, but unable to do so. And the Cougars take that one away. But Hebe will send that one right back in. That one's headed on into free space, but it's going to go out of play. And a throw in for the Cougars. And now it looks like one of the Cougar players is down, maybe cramping up in this heat. As one of their trainers is running across. Now some of the Viking defenders, as well as forwards, are hustling over towards the bench to get a few drinks of water while we have the Cougar down that far side. And unable to see who that is on that far sideline. As it appears to be Perla Hernandez. She's jogging around towards the bench, and it is. Hernandez looks like it might have just been a little bit of a cramp. As now it looks like we're about ready to get back to action. 25 and a half minutes remaining now. That one's turned over right to Ennis of the Vikings. But she puts it right back on the Cougar's foot. The Vikings now have this one and try to send it in deep. That one gets knocked away. And they send it in deep. Might be out of the reach. But nice job there to keep it in for a moment with Stephanie Hale. But then that one gets knocked away from her. So it'll be a throw in now for the Cougars deep in Valley's End. That's taken away nicely there by Kelsey Heeb. But sent right back in. Head around, settled down there, and then goes down. It looks like it's going to be a foul on the Vikings just outside of the box. A great opportunity here for Columbia College to put one on the board and make this game 2-1 instead of 2-0 like it is with 24 minutes remaining. Looks like it's going to be set exactly on the 15-yard line, so about 25 yards out. And it looks like Stephanie Hale is over it. It's pretty much in the middle of the field, so it's direct shot instead of trying to curve it in. Vikings have all of their 11 field players out deep in their end. Hale over it, sends it in, and it's going to go in the net. Sanchez got a hand on it, but off her hand and into the net. So it's Stephanie Hale gives the Cougars a goal, and they trail now 2-1 with 23 and a half minutes remaining. Nice shot there from 25 yards out by Stephanie Hale. As that will be Hale's third goal of the year in her fourth game. So just like that, a free kick deep in Valley's End, and the Cougars take advantage and bring them within one with still some time remaining. They try to send it in, and they still have it at midfield on that far side. The Vikings now clear this one out. Drew Hawkins has quite a few players down that sideline stretching out and possibly ready to come in at any point. And it looks like now the Vikings will have a free kick coming in at their own end as both of the men's teams are warming up behind their respective goals, getting ready for their match following this one. And that one should be a good one. You got two ranked teams going at it. As that gets sent in, Clamors tries to get it, but that's taken away. But now the Vikings still able to clear this one in. But looks like it's going to sail out of play. Be a goal kick now for the Cougars. Cougars try to clear that one off, but it gets cleared off the ref, but right back to them. 2-1 Vikings with about 21 and a half minutes remaining here in the second half. Vikings scored one in the first and one in the second, and the Cougars just got on the board off a free kick from Stephanie Hale a few moments ago. Vikings' goal was Brianne Kinworthy in the first half and Laís Pizzini in this second half. And that one's cleared out of play, so it'll be a Viking throwing at about midfield. Little fight for it there, but Garcia comes away with it for the Vikings. Tries to find Kinworthy down the sideline, but that one gets taken away. And that's cleared deep into the Viking end, but Sanchez will come off her line. and pick this one up. Cougars have this one now at midfield. Send it up. Cougars let that one go by as it would have been offsides. But so Sanchez had to come out of her net to take it. Heads up play there by the Cougars forward, knowing she was offsides to let that one roll through. And one of her teammates who was onsides went after it. Now this is put in, but sent wide. So it'll be a Viking free goal kick with 20 minutes remaining in this second half. 2-1 Vikings. As you see, Martin comes out. And that one is tied, and Cougars have just tied it up. Unsure on who put that one in. So just like that, the Cougars have tied the game. I believe that one could have been Sandra Madonica who puts that one past Sanchez for the goal. So we're knotted up at 2 with about 19 minutes remaining. So 2 goals for the Cougars just a few minutes apart has tied this one up. That's it. They had 16 goals in their 4 games. And now you can see the quick strike offense that they do have. Vikings did a nice job shutting them down for most of it. But now the Cougars have been able to quickly strike for 2 in less than 10 minutes, possibly less than 5 minutes. And the Vikings will have a free kick now. They'll try to send this one towards the box, see if they can get ahead on the other end of it. As they do send this one deep, but Ramirez comes off her line and plays it and quickly rolls it out, trying to keep this going as they have 2 goals quickly. Kazine, nice little ball handling there to get it away and send it back to the deep, now with Hebe. Tried to send that one up to Maddie Nichols, who I believe checked in a few moments ago, just before that last goal. A nice play there by Clammers. She looks like she's moved back to a midfield, if not defensive position, when Nichols checked in. Now Plowman with it, tries to find Hebe on this near sideline. She goes down the sideline, and it is just out of play. Ball's got to go fully over the line. The assistant referee said it did. So the Cougars have that throw, and they do it quickly. Now Plowman was looking back to Dean, but then saw Madonica coming in, so she decided to keep it herself. Now she falls over Madonica, but the Vikings still have it. They find Nichols, who will send it over on that far side. Tries to send it in, deflected away. And Vikings looks like they will have throw in on that far sideline with about 16 and a half minutes remaining in the second half as we are tied at 2 now. Goal in each half for the Vikings, and now 2 goals very quickly for the Cougars here in the second half to tie it up. Vikings had that 2-0 lead. Now Lucille Martin is back at midfield to check back in. She's only been on a few minutes. Drew Hawkins might realize he needs her offensive ability to get that next goal, because that could be the game deciding one. And it looks like it will be a free kick for the Vikings at about the 30-yard line of the football field, so 40 yards away from goal. So probably not going to see one directly go in, but could see another crossing in the middle. There you go, crossing in the middle, just out of the reach of a couple of the players, forwards for the Vikings. And it'll be a goal kick for the Cougars, and now Lucille Martin will come in. And it looks like Clamors will be the one coming out. This could be another quick break for one of the Vikings, as it is Kendrick Clamors. So that one's head on. He keeps this one in and sends it back to Plowman. And they will call a foul, as it was Baisho goes down. They called Martin with that foul. So under 15 minutes remaining in a 2-2 game. Cougars have a free kick at just on the Viking end of midfield. And the Cougars will send this one in. Flipped on, but no one around. And they're going to let Sanchez. Smart play by Madison Plowman. She got in front and just kind of slowed down as she was going after that ball. To have the Cougars make contact with her, so Sanchez could go pick it up. Vikings had it, but taken away there by the Cougars. They try to head up, but he takes that one away. That one go out of play and be a throw in for the Cougars about midfield. Cougars throw this one in. Gets headed away there by the Vikings. As we will have yet another free kick for the Cougars at midfield. About 13 minutes remaining in this tie game. They send that one deep. And it gets knocked away by the Vikings. He playing with it back there, could be dangerous, but gets it away. And the Vikings are able to clear it out. Kenworthy with a little bit of space. He's trying to run onto it. And it gets knocked away. It's another Cougar throw in. Kenworthy was standing right there in front of that throw. But it gets knocked off of Hebe. So we another throw in there for the Cougars. Vikings will have another couple substitutions coming in with their chance, but the Cougars just keep moving it downfield with throw-ins. Looks like Cecily Kidd and Anna Suarez will come in. That one's cleared downfield. Anna's trying to give chase, but it gets knocked back towards Ramirez, but that ball was bouncing, and she has to go off the side of her foot and out of play. Throwing deep in the Cougar end for the Vikings, and now Suarez and Kidd can check in. And it looks like we'll have Nolan coming off as well as Haley Ennis. That one's knocked out of play. Another throw in for the Vikings. They try to get to Kenworthy. She gets that one taken away and knocked back, but Plowman with it there for the Vikings. Just about 11 minutes remaining, tied at 2. And the Vikings now knock this one away. Be another throw in for the Cougars. Ball sent over at midfield near this near sideline. Players fighting for it. It's going to go out of play and be a Viking throw in. He sends that one deep. Soares knocks it back to Kentworthy. It was sent all the way over to Kidd. He gives chase, but that then forces the Cougars to quickly knock that one out. Throwing down that far sideline. Now the Vikings have it. Send it in towards the middle. Garcia tries to send it in deep. Unable to do so. But the Vikings take that one away very quickly again. He tries to get over the defender's head to Kidd. And Kidd will rake it deep in that corner. Must still just be in the field of play as it is on that far sideline. And the Cougars come away with it. And you will have a foul now on one of the Vikings. So another Cougar free kick. 9.5 minutes remaining in this tie game. So on that far sideline, the Vikings knock that one out of play. Cougar throw in. They throw this one in short. And the Vikings will take that one away and send it upfield. But the Cougars are right there to take that one back. And now Garcia for the Vikings. Takes it and they send it in deep. Kenworthy on the other end of that one. Little trouble handling the ball there, but she recovers. And they try to do a little bit give and go, but taken away there nicely by the Cougars, and they'll come back with it. They'll send it deep. But the Vikings will take that one away. 8 minutes now remaining in this second half. As the Vikings try to get on a little bit of a run, but the Cougars are a nice guy taking that one away. And they'll send it forward. Giving chase there is Caldwell. But she will be unable to be able to get there as Plowman. Nice job hustling back to knock that one out of play. As the Cougars are walking slowly down with it before they throw this one in. Down to around 7 minutes now remaining. Vikings try to clear this one out, but the Cougars send that one right back in. That's headed away by Plowman, but not far enough. And the Cougars still have it, sending that one now towards the far sideline. It'll be a Viking throw in deep in their own end. And now the Cougars will have it near midfield. Bringing that one forward, trying to get around some defensemen, but not able to do so, and the Vikings clear that one out. As Riley Kerr is on the sideline. He will check back in. Kerr, midfielder, freshman midfielder. Drew Hawkins trying to get some more offense, but Kenworthy's the one checking out. Vikings throw this one in on that far sideline. Bows with it, little 3-on-1. Cougars come away with it. But nicely done there. And the Vikings are able to take it away. Kerr now with it. Tries to find Kidd, but that one gets taken away. It's then in deep, but Dean will be able to run onto it. And he'll send it back to Sanchez to keep this one moving with under 5.5 remaining in this tie game. At midfield, nicely done there by Martin to try to get it free. But the Cougars take that one right back. They turn it over to Plowman. She sends it in deep. Tries to send it through. Go right to the Cougars, and they will knock that one away. And that will go out of play. Viking throw in with under 5 to go in the second half. Vikings scored 1 in the first and 1 early on. Here in the second, take a 2-0 lead. But the Cougars came back with 2 quick ones to tie this one up. And we have been that way for about 20 minutes, and now we're down to 4.5 remaining. The Vikings have it deep in the Cougar end, trying to get something on it. Kerr but tries to, but gets it deflected away. Now Pazine, who has one of the goals tonight. The Vikings have it on that far sideline, trying to find some space to clear it in. Trying to, but that one gets headed away. Vikings have it right back, though. Tries to send it again, knocked away again. Good defense by the Cougars here in the second half. Unable to give the Vikings any free balls, or through balls, rather. So that one goes deep in to the Viking end. But Madison Dean has it and tries to clear it up, but it goes out of play. Now Mackenzie Knieper is going to check in, as is Kendrick Lammers. Knieper is the leading goal scorer for this Columbia squad. And it looks like he was the one checking out for Clammers. Clammers will go back on D. She's played about all 3 spots she could, forward, midfield, now defense in this second half alone. Be throwing now for the Cougars on that deep on that far side with 2.5 remaining. Throws that one, sends it in towards the middle. But I believe the offside flag was up. So the Vikings will have this one to send out.
Well, we have 2 more minutes, and if nothing happens, we're going to take a little break and play some overtime tonight in this first game. It's looking more and more like that all the time.
Now the Vikings try to send this one in. Cougars knock that one back themselves. Vikings take this one away.
There you go.
They try to have it. They have a shot there. Kerr with it, but shoots it right at Ramirez. Nice save there by Ramirez, and she quickly throws it away. Played up Riley. Kerr had a shot there. Nice play there by the Vikings to get Kerr open, but shot right at the keeper. Vikings still have Martin. We'll play it up to Kidd on that far side. Under 1.5 minutes remaining. Vikings send this one in. We're going to play a big Kruger ball. And now the Cougars get this one back in, and we're at 1 minute remaining in the second half. Tied at 2. Vikings with the rush trying to avoid overtime here. Clammer sends this one in towards Kidd. That one gets headed away. Vikings had overtime a few weeks ago and won it 1-0 in double overtime. A little bit of a rush here. Vikings play it in. And the Cougars force the Vikings to knock it out of play.
Looks like we're going to have an overtime here.
So we're down under 30 seconds remaining here. And the Cougars will try to send it into Viking territory, but knocked down. Send it in towards Kerr. She heads it on, but Ramirez is right there. Take that on one hop. As we're with 5 seconds now. So it does look like with this one will go to overtime.
Well,
as the players have stopped and let this one go to overtime, tied at 2.
Well, James, I tell you what, the Vikings controlled a lot of that, didn't they? But there was just that, 5-minute span, maybe a 6-minute span there where Columbia College scored 2 quick goals, and that's what it took. So now we're going to take a little break here, and then we'll go on and play some overtime. Columbia College getting their 2 goals, what was it, about a 5-6 minute span, maybe something like that?
Yeah, it was definitely between 5 and 10, but probably closer to that 5 point.
Scored a couple of quick goals, and the Vikings had one in the first half, and then they came back with yet another goal in the second half, or early in the second half. Clammers get both of them, didn't she?
No, I believe Lace Pizzini had that second one.
Had the second one. So we'll take a 5-minute break here. And while they take that break, we'll tell you that the latest ranking is out. The 2013 NAI Women's Soccer Top 25. And Graceland, out of the Heart of America Conference, is ranked 13th. Benedictine is 19th. Avila received some votes, and Missouri Valley received some votes. So congratulations to Drew's team in getting some national recognition. Leading the way, Lindsey Wilson, Kentucky. Vanguard, California is second. Concordia, Oregon, third. Embry-Riddle, Florida, fourth. And Olivet Nazarene out of Illinois, fifth. Northwood, Florida, sixth. Spring Arbor, Michigan is seventh. Millville, Alabama is eighth. Westmont, California, ninth. Davenport, Michigan is 10th. So that's what's happening as far as the women's poll, and that was released a little bit earlier this afternoon. In other sports, as far as Valley is concerned, going to be a busy weekend. Thursday, the men's and women's tennis take part in the ITA regionals in Springfield. Friday, men's and women's tennis again in Springfield. Cross country, Valley will be at the Southern Illinois Edwardsville meet. The men will run at 5:30, the women at 6:15. That'll be on Friday. Then on Saturday, we finally get the football season underway. Valley will be at Ottawa, Kansas. And we'll have the broadcast for you on KMMO Radio, also Stretch Internet. That'll start with a pregame show at 5:30. The kickoff from Ottawa is at 6. Men's and women's tennis will be in Springfield. Women's volleyball, the Missouri Valley Triangular at the Burns Center. Valley will take on Avila at noon, and then Valley will take on Hannibal Grange at 4. Women's soccer on Saturday. Valley will make the trip to the Mississippi River to take on Hannibal Grange. And a men's soccer, Jamestown University will be here. That'll be at 4 o'clock, so that's what's on tap. Here it's 2-2, and the Vikings really were in charge of this thing. They scored a goal in the first, scored a goal in the second, had a 2-0 lead, and things were looking pretty good, but Columbia College scored 2 goals in a very short period of time to make it 2-2, and I think that second goal came with about 20 minutes left, something like that.
Yeah, definitely was not much time. Vikings had the majority of the chances after it went to 2-2, but just unable to do anything as Kerr had that chance with a couple minutes remaining, but shot it right at Ramirez.
Shot it right at her, took her time, but Ramirez came out, played the angle, and shot it right at her, so that was the extent of that. So we're going to play an overtime period coming up. They'll play 2 overtimes if they have to. Let's see who the Vikings are going to be. I see Kenworthy heading back out onto the turf. Also,
Got Ennis and
Kurt's going
Lammers.
out there. Hussman, or rather Plowman's back out there.
Looks like
Lammers.
Martine and Garcia are also back out there.
La Fuente, I believe. Garcia. Pretty much the starting unit. All right, we're about a minute away from starting the overtime. How's our cameraman doing down there? Doing all right. It's going to be a long night of soccer. We're glad to have you with us on livestream.com. Last minute instructions from Jeff Klein to his Lady Cougars and from Drew Hawkins to the Vikings, who are back out on the field. Pretty nice crowd here tonight. I'm enjoying the soccer. As the temperature is cooling off. Now, James, I'll take the first overtime, see if I can't get us a goal, since I left you with a 1-0 lead and came back and it was 2-2. You didn't do very well.
Might have been worse if I was actually down there playing for it, so.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. The Cougars came back to tie it, and now they'd like to win it in the OT, so here we go. They play a 10-minute overtime periods. Play 2 of them, and then if nothing happens, we'll move on. Columbia in the dark blue, moving from left to right as we look down on the field. And here we go. First overtime is underway. And it goes deep in the Viking end. We'll go all the way out. Columbia College down 2-0, came back with a couple of goals, really just within a matter of minutes to tie this thing, and then we're into our first overtime now. I'm kind of looking forward to that men's match. I think that'll be a good one.
As it should be, as both teams are in the top
Nicely
25.
right.
I believe they're both in the top 20.
Look out, Columbia College trying to move in on the Viking end. They've got something going here as they center one. The Viking defenders around it, knock it away. Now sent up the left side, but Kenworthy can't come up with it. Vikings now moving to their left, but taken them back again by Columbia College. Plowman gives it off to Kerr. Middle of the field to Garcia. Vikings on the attack. They'll send one in, but it goes through a couple of defenders and picked up by Ramirez. Ramirez will send it to about midfield. And battle for possession is on there. Cougars had it, lost it. Now, let's see, it's going to go out right in front of the Viking bench, right in front of Drew Hawkins. So throw in for Valley. They'll bring it in. Midfield. Nice job by Pizzini. They send it across. Battle for it in the far corner. And it goes out.
Nicely done there by Haley Ennis on that far side. Battle within, forced to throw in deep.
So here's the throw in. She'll send it. Headed away. Vikings with a shot. And with the right foot goes high and over the football crossbar by Bazzini. I think that would have been good for 3 on a Saturday afternoon.
Had quite a few that would have been good for 3. And tonight they're just worth nothing.
Tonight, absolutely nothing. So to midfield, here come the Vikings again. But Columbia back defensively now. Here's Ennis, fires, and it hits the crossbar. Ball is loose and knocked away at the last moment. Oh, man. Ennis fired that one, and it hit the bar, the side of the net, and then came down in front, and it was knocked away at the last moment by one of the defensemen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Ramirez got a hand on that or not, but if she did, she kind of deflected right off the post.
Right off the post.
I believe that was Kenworthy might have been trying to come in.
Yeah.
On it because unable to get there fast enough.
Now they sent it out in front. Cougars able to knock it. Yeah, that ball hit the post, and it hit it hard. I don't know if Ramirez got a piece of it or not, but that was a great chance for the Vikings. And then the ball came back right in front of the goal. And the Vikings unable to do anything with it, and it was cleared out.
This great strike by Haley Ennis. She got the Vikings the ball deep with her play in the corner and then gets that one in the middle of the field. And just puts it off the post.
6 minutes to go at OT number 1, tied at 2. Now Columbia College wants to make a run. Vikings get back on defense. They'll send it up to the right side. And let's see if they can track it down. They can. That is Hale, Stephanie Hale. Well, she loses it out. It'll be a throw in for Valley. 5:30 to go, first overtime. This one's sent to the middle of the field. Knocked away by Valley. Goes out. See the Vikings make another run here in this first overtime. Here they come. Bring it up the far side. Looking for a centering pass. Knocked away by Columbia College. Now they'll try it, but the Viking defenders are there. Clammers comes up. Now Plowman. And she'll send it all the way back to Sanchez. Sanchez clears with the left foot. We're down to 4.5 in the first overtime. Here comes Valley. Get on the march, bringing it up. Trying to center this one. They do. Kerr fights for possession of it. Can't come up with it. Now the Vikings will send it back and regroup with 4 minutes to go. All the way back to Madison Dean. Now the Vikings lose possession of it, I think. Goes out in the corner. No, they're able to keep possession in the corner. And here's a shot on goal. And out in front. It's still loose. It's knocked away again. Vikings still have possession of it in front. Oh, my goodness.
That was Haley Ennis again in front. Open net, but one of the Cougars defenders was on that back line and knocked it away.
Somehow, had she been able to get that ball airborne, she would have scored.
Maybe gets off the foot a little bit faster even. Unable to see who that was, but a great defensive play.
Great defensive play.
Because Ramirez was out of the play completely.
Yeah. That was one-on-one with Ennis and one of the defensemen, and the defenseman won that battle. That's 2 shots in this overtime that Ennis has had. Nearly won for the Vikings both times. And we're down to 2:54, so getting close to another break in the second overtime. Here's a shot, way wide right. A lot of pacing by the coaches down in front of us.
And it looks like Amanda Caldwell. They didn't come back into this game now.
Caldwell for the Cougars.
Madonica comes out, and she had that tying goal in that second half.
2 minutes left in the first overtime. Valley will have possession. Had a couple of shots at it here. Clock continuing to wind. With a battle for it. Vikings want possession. They want to keep that in the Cougar end of the field.
And they have had most of the possession in this first overtime.
Yeah. And they really had the two shots. I don't think Columbia's taken a shot in this overtime, have they? Don't believe so.
Possibly not.
Here's a center. They try to head it, not there. Ball loose in front. Now whistle blows.
Nice job by Ramirez to punch that one out as Kerr was in the middle there. And it looks like Kerr's going to get booked for a yellow card. He went in hard on the keeper Ramirez.
I don't think Drew Hawkins agrees with that, but he's got his arms outstretched as he looks at the official.
Ramirez has been knocked down a few times with those 50-50 balls in the air. That might be one of those where you just protect the keeper. Looks like she could still be feeling it. She's kind of shaking her arm off.
Down to a minute in the first overtime. And this is going to go out right in front of the Columbia Cougar bench. The Vikings will throw it in. Clammers will do that 1 minute.
That was the first card we've seen tonight. A lot different from the one
last
from
Thursday
getting night that I did, where you had 10 cards total and 4 ejections.
Well, we're apparently very close to headed to a second overtime here. Only 30 seconds left in this one. Send it in.
Both teams look like they have a couple players warming up, so you could have some changes between overtime.
May have an injured player. I thought the Cougars may have an injured player for a moment. That's Hale, but she gets up. Now here's the pass down the left side. Vikings one more shot at it, and they're going to send it in to the right side as the pass from Ennis goes by her teammate, and we're headed to a second overtime. As this one is tied at 2, the Vikings had 2 great opportunities, both by Ennis. One hit the post, and the other a very good defensive play by one of the Cougar defensemen. So on a warm night, we've played a little extra time. We're going to go one more overtime. So we'll keep it here and take a break, and James will call that second overtime. It's coming up in 5 minutes.
We are back with this second half. It's not quite the 5 minutes we were expecting, but then the Cougars have possession early on here. And gets cleared off a couple of the players or coaches on that Cougars bench. Viking throw in. As the teams did switch ends. So now the Vikings will be going left to right, and they have the ball in the Cougar territory. It's cleared away, but the Vikings will still have it. Now the Cougars have it trying to get it downfield, but taken away there by the Vikings. They send that one in towards Hale, but she looks tired and not able to get to it. Battled for it, but they say it went off of Stephanie Hale and out of play. Now that one goes off for Suarez and out of play. Or not. It was actually LaFuentes who that went off of. Dean gives battle for it and she goes down. Vikings look like they're going to have a free kick. And a little bit of discussion by the ref, and I believe that was with Caldwell. Two minutes in to this second overtime with Missouri Valley and Columbia College. That one gets head out of play. Another Viking throw in near the Cougar bench. And be another Viking throw in this one at the Viking bench this time. As Ennis just able to keep that one in. Tries to stay into the middle, knocked down there, and curve. Not able to get much on it. Ramirez comes off the line and plays that one. As both men's teams are warming up behind the goals, trying to stay ready as they expect to be playing by now. Cougars have this one trying to stand it in, but taken away there by the Vikings. And now Garcia has it. Tries to play it up. And Garcia gets tripped. And it'll be a free kick for the Vikings. Looks like that could have been Carly Howe. Andrea Garcia over this one. And we'll be taking this free kick. Sends it into the box. Head on, and it's a goal! Vikings win this one in double overtime. Not quite sure who got that goal. But either way, that free kick by Garcia is headed in, and the Vikings win this one 3-2 in double overtime.
I've got my glasses on there, and we'll see who gets off the bottom of the pile there. I'm not see who it was. We'll go down and check with the sports information people to see who it was. It may have been number 5. I'll go down and check and see. Yeah, we're gonna go down and check to see who that was with the because there's a crowd in front.